Well, on to the big breaking news coming in this hour, this one in relation to the Nadimarg massacre, where the J&K High Court has ordered expeditious trial in the Nadimarg massacre of 24 Kashmiri Pandits. The trial to resume after 9 years, so that's a big news break coming in this hour. J&K High Court reopening the Nadimarg files, which led to the massacre of 24 Kashmiri Pandits. The trial is all set to resume after 9 years. Now remember, 24 Kashmiri Pandits were killed in the Nadimarg village of Pulwama by Lashkar terrorists. During midnight, 11 men, 11 women and 2 small boys were lined up and shot and killed by the terrorists. So of course the J&K High Court ordering expeditious trial in the Nadimarg massacre of the 24 Kashmiri Pandits who were butchered 9 years back. We have Gursimran also joining us for more on that. Gursimran, give us more details. That's a big news break coming in. The Nadimarg files that is all set to be opened by the J&K High Court.
The Kashmir High Court has ordered now that expeditious trial in the Nadimarg massacre, in which 24 Kashmiri Pandits were killed in the early 2000s, and that bloodbath was carried out by Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist Zia Mustafa. He was, however, killed by the security forces in an encounter that broke out last year in the Bataduria area. But the families are yet awaiting justice. 7 accused were there in the case, and under various sections of the IPC and the Arms Act, this case was registered. There was a long pending demand that in 2014, when this case was closed, no one from the Kashmiri Pandit community was heard by the court, as they were demanding that the trial be shifted to the safer location, but it was not. And then we have seen how the case was closed by the trial court. But after that, we have seen how that things have changed, and now once again the case was reopened by the High Court, and now High Court has passed a judgment that expeditious trial will be carried out so that the justice can be delivered. And apart from that, the High Court has also said that if needed, the video conferencing mode be used for recording the witnesses, so that there is no one who fears in going to Kashmir Valley or to the court owing to the security threat that exists. So now it seems that those families who have been awaiting justice for more than 2 decades' time, they will now be getting the justice, as a major decision has been taken by the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, and the judgment that has been passed by Justice Justice Vinod Chatterjee clearly says that the trial be made expeditious, be done at a rapid speed, so that everyone can be heard and the justice can be delivered. Last time we have seen that how there was a long pending demand that turned out to be true when the High Court upheld the demand of the victim side, and they said that the case be reopened because there are many of the loopholes that were left last time when the case was heard and closed owing to the unavailability of the witnesses on ground. But that situation was altogether different, and now the case stands reopened, and after 9 years the trial will begin on the next date of hearing that will be notified by the High Court. But as of now, the important news that is coming on is the directions that have been passed by the Jammu and Kashmir High Court, clearly saying that a fast, rapid speed trial be done so that the case can be concluded at an earliest, and if needed, the video conferencing mode. They have given the mention to the directions of the Supreme Court that video conferencing mode can be used for recording the statements of the witnesses. However, at the stage of the cross-examination, that is altogether a different step that has to be taken at a later stage. But initially, the court wants that the justice be delivered and the case is set on tone, that is the trial to begin at an earliest. Yes.
Gursimran, stay with us, and for our viewers also who are just tuning in, if you could once again talk to us as to what really happened 19 years back when 24 Kashmiri Pandits were murdered. Of course, Lashkar terrorists who were involved behind the killing of the Kashmiri Pandits.
So it was in 2003 when these Kashmiri Pandits who were living in the Nadimarg area, they were brutally killed by the terrorists, and there was a group of terrorists that was headed by Zia Mustafa, a Pakistani-based Lashkar terrorist who carried out this brutal killing of the Kashmiri Pandits. And since then, when he was arrested even by
for a moment, we have Sushil Pandit also joining us on the phone line. So thank you for speaking to us. Your first response, the Nadimarg files, which are all set to be reopened, J&K High Court ordering a trial in this case.
Do you realize that this trial was stalled for decades because It was not allowed to examine the witnesses away from the court, which is a simple procedure. And Zia Mustafa, who is a Pakistani terrorist accused of this, could manage our system for decades in order to stall the process of justice. This is travesty. And can some heads be rolled, please, for delaying this justice? Who is the magistrate or the judge who decided that such witnesses could not be examined outside the court? That is the question. Unless those who caused these unpardonable delays and allowed the accused, allowed the guilty to get away with the crime, unless they are also charged and tried for collaborating in this crime, this is not going to be true justice. We have jihadi sympathizers sitting in the system allowing the criminals to get away with genocide. I accuse moles sitting in the criminal justice system, collaborating with our genociders and denying justice to our victims and survivors.
Yes. And also, sir, just stay with us. How important do you think this is going to be? Because the very fact that it's been 19 years since, the victims await justice, why do you think that it took so long, 19 years, for the justice to be delivered? And of course, rightly said by you, it is a travesty of justice of sorts when we talk about the Nadimarg case.
Because one conscientious judge, Justice Anuj Zahar, has decided to suo moto on his own, address this issue, this travesty of justice, and reopen the case. It is because of him, because of the Honorable High Court, that the wheels of justice have begun to move again. Even Supreme Court let us down. Highest courts on land let us down and denied us justice on such flimsy ground. It is shameful. It is criminal negligence. It is complicity. And those responsible for it should be punished, along with those who are accused of, who are guilty of causing a massacre in Nadimarg.
You were speaking to us. We also hope that the perpetrators are brought to justice at the earliest. So activist Sushil Pandit speaking to us, going again to back to Gursimran, who continues to be with us. Gursimran, once again talk to us about the justice that is awaited for 19 years now. There were people who were suffering. Justice is of course still awaited. Talk to us more about what really happened when these 24 Kashmiri Pandits were killed by the Lashkar terrorists. All right, we'll try to connect with Gursimran again. Gursimran, if you can hear us, if you could once again talk to us about the ordeal of those who suffered as a result of this Nadimarg massacre, in which 24 Kashmiri Pandits were murdered by the terrorists. Well, we'll try and connect with Gursimran again, but that's a big news break coming in this hour. Trial to
जिले में मार गिराया था, लेकिन फिर भी वो परिवार आज भी न्याय की तलाश कर रहे हैं। पिछली बार ये कहा गया था कि जो विटनेस हैं, जो गवाह हैं, वो नहीं आ पाए। यही कारण था कि इस ट्रायल को रोक दिया गया था और केस में बाकी सबको जो है छोड़ दिया गया था। लेकिन अब हाईकोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि जो भी विटनेस थे, अगर वो कोर्ट में नहीं आ सकते तो वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए उनसे पूछताछ की जाए, उनके बयान जो हैं वो रिकॉर्ड किए जाएँ, ताकि वो लोग जो कि 24 परिवार हैं जिन्होंने अपने लोगों को गवाया है, वो उनकी सुनवाई हो और उन्हें जो है इंसाफ मिल सके। इसके लिए अब जम्मू कश्मीर हाई कोर्ट ने आदेश जारी कर दिया है और 2011 में जब ट्रायल कोर्ट ने कहा था कि इस ट्रायल को बंद किया जाए, उस ऑर्डर को जो है निष्क्रिय करार दिया गया है। यानी कि अब फिर से एक बार फिर देखिए 2014 तक लास्ट ट्रायल चला था, तो उसके बाद अब एक बार फिर 2022 में जाकर ट्रायल की शुरुआत होगी। तो एक बड़ी कह सकते हैं कि निर्णय जम्मू कश्मीर हाई कोर्ट की तरफ से लिया गया है उन 24 परिवारों के लिए जिनकी निर्मम हत्या लश्कर तौयबा के पाकिस्तानी आतंकियों ने 2003 में कर दी थी कश्मीर के नदीमर्ग में, जब लगातार कश्मीरी पंडितों पर जुल्म ढाए जा रहे थे। अब जो है इसकी एक बार फिर से शुरुआत हुई है ट्रायल की और अब जो गवाह हैं वो अपना पक्ष रख पाएंगे वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए और खास हिदायत दी गई हैं कि जल्द से जल्द ये पूरा ट्रायल जो है इसे ख़त्म किया जाए ताकि आम लोग जो कि इसमें पीड़ित थे उन्हें इंसाफ मिल सके।
All right, good Simran, getting us all those updates on this big story coming in this hour. The J&K High Court reopening the Nadimarg files. The 2003 Hindu genocide that was buried, it will now, the fast track is set to be reserved. The case is all set to be fast tracked. The trial is set to be fast tracked in this particular case. Justice to be delivered to those who are waiting for that justice to be delivered. It's been 19 years since the victims can await justice in this case.